right now they're all dust bathing in the sand.
Suntan.
Cool.
Vacation chicken.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Handy Women YouTube channel. I am your host, Geraldine Anello. I am the founder of the Handy Women community, which you can find at the link below. We're a large community of thousands and thousands of badass women. And our mission at Handy Women is to empower women with tools. And to do that today, we're going to talk about a chicken coop that my guest made herself. Please help me welcome Deidre Osborn. Hi, Deidre.
Hello, how are you?
I am so excited because not many people do a chicken coop. What made you want to build one?
Yeah, so when I decided I wanted to get chickens, I kind of started looking around for, a kit to buy or something like that. And everything I found was really, really small or kind of custom order and really, really expensive. So I started thinking, maybe I could do this myself and get something that I, kind of suits my needs, but is also in budget. So I kind of did some research. I ended up finding a good plan to work from and just went to work.
How expensive is a chicken coop if you buy it?
So there's a whole spectrum, like most things. There was a bunch that I saw that were maybe 300 range. Those ones were all kind of a prefab kit you could order from a Tractor Supply place or even from Wayfair of all places. But those were really small. When you see them in the customer reviews, it looked like it was for a rabbit or something really, really small.
The famous rabbit coop. The famous rabbit coop.
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to get a couple chickens. So I wanted something that'd be, big enough for them to be happy in, because we're in suburbia here. So I don't have, beautiful green pastures for them to roam. So I wanted something, that could contain them. They're not going to go running out in the street, but they could still, be happy.
Oh, so can I see what you came up with? What's the final result? And then we'll talk about the steps.
Yeah. So here it is.
Look at that. That is not a small project. That's the house.
Yeah, that's the idea. So it's about 10 feet by 6 feet. And then another roughly 8 feet tall. And the first big portion of it is just open for them to run around. And then they have a little house that they can go in at night. Coop area.
What's the difference between the area they're running in and the house section?
So it's actually called a coop and a run. The coop part is where they would go to sleep at night. Although I leave it open during the day and they like to go mess around in there. And then the run is where they spend a lot of time during the day. Just right now they're all dust bathing in the sand.
Suntan.
Cool.
Vacation chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, so the run part is where they spend most of their time during the day.
And the house part is really what? Because it's darker in there and they like to sleep someplace dark?
So they actually like to sleep someplace high. They roost at night, I think it's called, where they basically in the wild, they would find a tree branch to sit in to protect them during the night. So they have a little protected area, and inside I can show you again.
Oh, I would love to see the inside of the little house. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. Look at this.
The little fans for the Texas heat. But so that bar is their roost, and they'll go and sit on there at night.
They have mini fans. I mean, this is as luxurious. This is the chicken resort. I don't think it should be called a chicken coop.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're very spoiled chickens.
They're spoiled chickens.
They're little suburban chickens.
So how many chickens can you fit per size of coop? Is there a guideline towards that?
There is. I want to say I'm forgetting the exact numbers, but I want to say you want like maybe 3 to 4 square feet per chicken in like the house part, and then a little bit more out in the run. And then for our chickens are actually what's called a bantam, which is a sort of slightly smaller chicken. They're like mini chickens. So they can get away with a little bit less space. But from what I've read, generally, the more space, the better for them to run around during the day. And as long as you have enough space for them on their roost bar for them all to line up comfortably, then they should be happy.
How many chickens do you have in there?
So we have 5. I meant to get 3. And then when I decided, oh, maybe I'll get the smaller ones, I was like, oh, I'll get one more. We can squeeze one more little one in. And then the lady I got them from gave me a bonus chicken. So now we have a few more than I planned.
Did you name the bonus chicken Bonus?
No, we didn't actually. My kids helped me name the chickens. So most of them are named after flowers and stuff like that.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so you had this whole project. Oh, but I want to follow up on the little fans. Do they also have little fans in the run area?
No, so the run area is all open. It's screened in, but plenty of airflow through that part. So I haven't put any fans in there, just in the little house part where it gets hotter.
Got it. All right. So you had this, you started with a plan, I assume. Did you draw something up?
I did not. So this was like my first shot at building anything. So I wanted to kind of have a little bit of instructions from somebody who actually knows what they're doing. So I purchased a plan from a little family run company up in, I think, Oregon, called the Garden Coop. And they have a couple different plans for different sizes and styles. And so I picked this one because I thought it would fit our backyard. And it was so helpful. It had like really detailed instructions. That even had like a list of hardware I had to buy, all that kind of stuff. So it was really, really helpful.
Okay, and so can I see it again? And let's look at the details. What came first? Did it tell you like the steps and in what order to do things?
Yeah. So basically the first step was to construct each wall separately by itself. So I had all of this out in my driveway, and I would put together one wall at a time, and then I would enlist my 11-year-old to help me carry them into the backyard. And then once I had all 4 walls, I brought my husband out, and he helped me hold them upright together while I screwed them together. And then from there, I did the screen part.
So I'm gonna stop on every step, because you just glossed over building walls, but how?
Right. So basically the plan would kind of show me the measurements for each piece, and I would go ahead and cut everything according to measurement and then put it together as described in the plan. They'd have little diagrams you could follow.
How hard is it to put them together?
Much harder than I thought.
Why? What made it harder?
So when I started, I thought I was being very precise. I would measure everything very carefully. And then, I'd start putting things together, and I'd get to the last section and something would be like 3 inches off.
Oh, why?
And I realized that the wood that I had gotten was not all straight. So I kind of just expected, especially if you purchase like new lumber, that it would be straight, but it's not. So that was something I had to kind of learn to work around.
How did you fix the 3 inches?
So for that particular piece, I had to kind of undo everything, take out the one like really bent board that was throwing everything off, and replace it. But that kind of taught me that as I was moving forward, to really like double check each piece as I put it in, to make sure that it was like level and straight and wasn't going to throw everything off.
That sounds kind of hard.
Yeah, it took forever. I think this project, I think in the plans it said, oh, like 2 weekends you can throw it up. And I took like literally months on this thing because I would spend a whole day like making a mistake and then the rest of the day like undoing my mistake, and I'd be like right back where I started.
Wow. So what is it that you would do different now? Would you buy a different kind of wood? Would that be the solution?
No, I think number one, I'd probably any wood that I bought at like Home Depot or Lowe's, I'd probably go pick out myself, because I had just ordered it for pickup, so they selected everything for me. And probably the easiest way to fix that is just go pick them yourself, and then you can get the ones that are actually good.
Oh, I love that. That's such a good pro tip. Okay, so you built the wall. It took months, but you got there. Now you
Yes.
put everything together. How was the screwing the parts together?
That was not too bad.
Well, how many can you take us next to one of the walls and show us where the screws go and what kind of technique you use to screw them in?
Sure. Let's see if we can see any here. So the big pieces, let's see this, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see through the screen, but the big pieces are attached at like 4 different points all the way down. And then everything is attached together at 2 points.
Oh,
So I
those
have like,
are not screws, right? For the fencing area, those are staples, no?
yeah, these are, I think they're called like poultry nut staples, I want to say.
What's the difference with a regular, like?
I think they're just bigger, and they're like a U shape. So yeah, they're like a U shape, and they're much thicker than like what you would usually use with a staple gun, and you hammer them in with a hammer.
These ones?
Yeah, these ones right here.
You hammer them in with a hammer?
Yeah.
Wow, and it doesn't take out their U shape.
No, not if you're careful. I mean,
I mean, who is careful with a hammer? Hammering down.
Yeah. So, but yeah, most everything is done with screws. The like all of the siding is put on with screws. I used like an outdoor, I think it's maybe a decking screw. I don't really know. But it's made for outdoors so they won't rust.
Oh, that's so smart. There's so many types of screws out there. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming actually. But
you don't know what you're going to buy. Like, don't just go buy screws. Know what screw you're going for before you go to the store. Yeah. Okay, so you screw them in, and then what came next?
Yeah, so let's see. After screwing the framework together, I did the screening, which I learned was much easier to do like in smaller sections. I had these big like 4 foot wide rolls of this 1/2 inch hardware cloth, which is really tough and hard to unroll. And I tried to do the whole ceiling in like one swoop, and it was terrible. It was all like wobbly. And so I learned it was much easier to do in like smaller sections, more workable sections. And then
why? What happened with the long one?
It just, I'm not totally sure why, to be honest, but it was really difficult to get it to lay flat. It was much easier to kind of position a smaller piece well. Maybe it was just because I was working by myself. Maybe with 2 people it might be easier, but I'd be trying to like, it's always trying to like roll up on itself, like so you're trying to like spread eagle, like hold every corner out while you're hammering. I should have had my children videotape me because they probably looked really ridiculous.
Can I see some of the smaller sections that you ended up using instead, and how you connected those together outside of the wood pieces?
Sure. Yeah. So I mostly just cut the pieces to fit the smaller sections of frame. Okay. So here, like this middle section right here is one strip, and then down here is another strip.
Oh, so they're still pretty large strips then.
Still pretty large, yeah, but not the full.
Not the whole
4 feet, right? Exactly.
So you never went smaller than the circumference of the wood,
right? Yeah, because I think if you do that, you have to kind of I don't know, lace it together with wire, which seemed really troublesome. So it was much easier to just, like, you can see that.
So would you cut it first?
Yeah.
Did you have to cut it first?
Yep.
And you cut it with what? Pliers?
Wire snips, I think they're called. They're yeah, I think that's what they're called, wire snips, but they're just a very short little scissor type of thing. They kind of look like pliers, but they're sharp.
What came next? You had the walls, you had the fence. Did the chicken bedroom come next?
Yes. Yes. So yeah, I wanted the wire to be kind of sandwiched underneath the siding of the house. I'll show you here. So I put the siding on after I did the wire, so that nothing can get in.
Great.
Get in there. Yep. So that was next, and then after that was the roof.
But what about the inside? Because they have that like upper area to sleep on.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a little staircase?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Let me show you the staircase.
Sort of those questions where you realize you don't know about animals. Oh yes, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are some old, sorry, gross poop pictures, but there's these are a couple of repurposed fence boards and just some little branches that we pulled off our property and cut up.
Your branches, how cute is that? Oh, I love it.
So,
was there any particular things to think about as far as like the length of the stairs for the chickens to be able to go up it?
yes, I guess you want it to be roughly 45-degree angle or less, so it's not too steep, and then have the little treads be maybe 3-4 inches apart so that they can easily walk down.
Love it. And look at that cute little door entryway.
Yeah, so this is actually really cool. So this is an automatic door.
No.
Yes, it's very cool. I'm really proud of it. I think it's made by a company that's local to me here in Texas. But anyways, this controls it, and you can set it to be light sensitive or on a timer. And I'll see if I can show you the inside of it. So it has this little metal door on a string. I don't know if you can see the string in the picture, but once it hits dusk, this little door will close itself.
No way, but don't they want to escape sometimes? Or it
So
helps
they don't. Yeah, they don't. Once it's evening time and they're roosting, they don't come back out. It's more of a protection against predator type of thing.
So this section here, it looks like a cutout with the wood coming out. Is that a cutout, or is it plexiglass, or can they just fly out of there?
Yeah, that's open. So that's just the front door of the coop. There's a big door that closes that off.
You can, so you close it manually every night.
Yeah, I've been leaving it open when it's really, really hot for more airflow, but yes, I would close it every night.
Are the little fans on all the time?
Right now, because it's been so hot here in Texas.
Yeah, and how? So that involves electricity.
Yeah.
Are they electric or are they battery based?
They are actually battery, but I do have them plugged in right now with just the extension cord, so not very fancy.
That looks so. How did you build that whole part? Was it a different kind of wood so that it could carry their weight, or was it based out of the same wood you used for the rest of the build?
Sure. So this is the same, like the basic frame of it. Let me see if I can show you. Was the same, just sort of 2x4 wood, and then I just lay some plywood on top of the frame to make the floor.
That's
and
great.
I, on a whim, stuck chicken wire in there just for, I don't know, extra protection, but I don't think that was necessary.
And what did you put on the ground there?
So this is just sawdust. It's a really typical chicken bedding. And then out in their run, they have sand, which I've been really loving. It's very easy to clean and is really gentle on their feet. Yeah, it's been working out really well.
Good. And what about that little shelf in their bedroom?
Right. So that's what they sleep on at night.
They all
hop up there and snuggle together, even in the heat.
That's so
crazy.
cute.
And they all go to sleep. It's really darling.
Let's talk about the ceiling. How did you build the ceiling?
Yeah, so the whole ceiling is somewhat open air for ventilation. So you can kind of see, I have the netting up above for predator protection. And then there's little rafters that run the length of the coop.
Wait, so it's hard to see. How many, is it just strictly the netting, or is it netting and something else?
So yeah, there's, let me see if I can show you from the outside here. So above the netting, there's a like a clear plastic roof panels.
Great.
So those kind of keep.
Why do you need both? What does the netting protect them from that the plexiglass wouldn't?
Sure. So the plastic roofing is really just for weather protection, like rain and snow if you're in an area that gets snow. And then the netting is for predator protection. So like we have raccoons around here, they would be able to climb up the whole thing and get into the top if I didn't have that netting there. But I wanted the roof to be, the plastic roof, I wanted it to be raised up a little bit for the airflow to keep things a little bit cooler.
Oh, I see. Okay. So how did you go about building that part then? Did it come in that one giant sheet? Is it multiple sheets combined?
Yeah, it's I think they're each about 2 feet wide. So it's, I want to say it's 6 sheets. So the plan that I bought was designed to work with this type of roof panel. So the length of them fit perfectly on the coop, and then I just had to line up 6 of them to make it all the way across. So I think that was something kind of like cleverly designed by the guy who designed this coop.
How are I can see some chicken action there.
Yep.
How are they combined together?
So I don't know if I can climb up there. I don't think I can climb up to show you that. But they're basically just bolted. They're like, the ends of them are overlapped. You can see here.
How did you do the bolt? How did you bolt them?
I just climbed up on top of the roof, and first you'd like drill a hole so that the plastic can kind of expand and shrink without cracking, and then it's all drilled into the rafter beams.
That's awesome. Was there any other, once you were done with the roof, are you ready to go get your chicken?
Yeah, pretty much.
Were you so nervous the first day you brought them in to test it? We're like, do they like it?
I don't know. I wasn't. I was really just excited that it was finally done. I mean, they had been living in like a really small little pen in the garage, you know, from babies. So I think we were all just really ready for them to go out. And
you owned your chicken. I assumed you had waited until everything.
Oh no. No, I bought the chickens before I even started the coop, which is not the recommended order of things, but yeah.
Well, congratulations. It looks very good. And your chicken look very happy.
They do. They get along really well. They're pretty happy girls.
If you're watching, write in the comment, did you ever build a chicken coop? Would you consider having chicken? How would you go about it? And if you have a chicken coop, how did you do it? So make sure you write in the comment and like and subscribe for more. Bye. Thank you, Deirdre.